Welcome everybody. Welcome to the SAE Virtual Open Day. Okay, I will be discussing the animation department course. Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Michael Banks. I am one of the animation facilitators here at SAE. I have a Bachelor of Multimedia. And I have industry experience working at animation studios such as Warner Brothers, and in particular, Photon VFX. Now, during my time at both Warner Brothers and Photon VFX, I was lucky enough to work on a couple of blockbuster films, such as Superman Returns. Photon VFX also worked on The Matrix, and during this period, I also got to work on a children's full 3D animation TV series called Animalia, and it was actually Australia's first full 60-episode children's TV series, okay, at the time. Now, by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below, okay? So, okay, let's have a look. So what will you actually learn? What's it all about, this Bachelor of Animation, the Associate Degree of Animation, okay? And don't forget, there's also the Diploma. You can also start out on the Diploma. So we'll discuss this all shortly, okay? So there's many different disciplines within the animation within animation in general. So I'll go through a couple of those now with you. And so, for example, to create a quality animation, okay, you need to start out understanding some of those core principles, okay, and some of the stages in the pipeline. And for example, storyboarding and script writing, okay, you need to get your concepts down, your ideas onto paper. Hence, you'll also create storyboards. Okay, now moving on from storyboarding, you'll then take those conceptual designs and then you'll start moving into converting those, for example, character designs into 3D models, character models, and even environments. So, for example, you may create an elaborate forest or a jungle, and then you may populate that with characters, as we did with the Animalia, okay, while we're at Photon VFX. So the facilitators here have that experience, the industry experience, where they can actually walk you through those same stages and a similar experience to what they went through. Now, moving on, after you've created your character, you'll move into texturing. Okay, this is placing the colors and the beautiful shaders, etc., over top of your character, and the environment. All right, and then of course you've got to put it all together. Just like a film director, you have a film set in front of you. You'll place cameras, you'll place the lights in strategic positions, okay? And then of course you need to breathe life into your character. Hence, we need to animate the character. And before animation, you need to put that bone or skeletal system, what we refer to in the industry as rigging. You need to rig your character, okay? And then it's ready for motion. That is the next stage in the pipeline where we move into animating characters, animating props or assets within your environment. And finally, once you've completed the animation, the environment, the character modeling, etc., the texturing, you move into rendering and finally compositing. And I'm going to discuss some of the packages that we use here, industry standard packages that we use here at SAE. Once again, feel free to ask any questions below. Okay, so the course structure, it's broken down into a diploma, as I mentioned before. You can start out with a diploma. You could also start out doing an associate or a bachelor's degree. The bachelor's degree runs for 2 years. Now, we have what are called trimesters. The year is broken into 3 parts. A trimester. One trimester runs for 13 weeks. We have a break in week 17. We have a 1-week break, a bit of a cool-off period, a study break, or a catch-up period for some students, okay? Now, most of our delivery of the classes are face-to-face, but at the moment, as you all know, our classes are via Zoom, okay? Hence, right now, I'm talking to you from within one of the Zoom sessions. Now, I also want to mention a cross collaboration. We often reach out to other disciplines, for example, games, audio, and for example, film. So for example, games may require some 3D characters for their game. Well, the Department of Animation, we will deliver those to them. So you may be involved in a team that will create the different characters. You may reach out as an animator because you might require background audio or background music for your animation piece. So we do have a cross collaboration. Now let's talk about the actual stages of the course. So there are three main stages, okay? Stage one is where you start out, you're new, you're fresh, everything's, okay, everything's new. So we introduce you to the tools of the trade that you'll be using. Remember, they're industry standard tools. For example, we use the Adobe suite, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe After Effects, to name but a few. We also use Autodesk Maya, okay, for 3D modeling and animation. Now, each of these projects that you develop in each of these stages, they build upon each other, okay? So the techniques and the tools and skills that you learn, they keep evolving as you move to each different stage. Now, one thing I do want to mention is ultimately you're working towards a showreel or a portfolio that you can take away with you, and you can use that, okay, as you enter the industry. All right, so you need to have a quality showreel or portfolio that you can hand over to a future employee. Okay, so we help you develop that as you walk through these stages. Okay, so I'd just like to mention one more thing. A lot of these actual projects, they may be individual or team-based. Okay, so let's move on to stage two. Now, in these, you'll now be evolving, okay? You'll now be improving your skill set. And in stage two, you are now moving into studio environments. So we have studio 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is a studio? Don't get a studio confused with a stage. A studio is, well, we try to recreate to the best of our ability a proper studio, the same experience that we had while working in the industry. We bring that into the classroom. So you'll be working in team-based environments. You'll be having a team role. For example, you may have 4 or 5 members in a team. You may have, for example, a concept artist or a concept art director, a modeling director, an animation director, and perhaps a rendering and compositing director. So each of these roles is very significant in the project development. So we have, as I mentioned, 13 weeks, and you may have a short animation to create. Some of these animations may only go for 20 to 30 seconds, okay? And once again, you're working collaboratively, or some stages independently. Now, in stage 3, this is where everything's starting to culminate. You're actually starting to move towards what's called major project. There are 2 major projects. The first half is in a trimester of 13 weeks, once again, and this is about pre-planning and planning and getting everything together for the second part of major project, in which you get to produce it all yourself. Of course, in stage 1 and 2, you're also producing, okay, you're producing projects, etc. But one of the great things of major project in stage 3 is you get to choose your project of choice. That means you could reach out to game students, audio students, or if you really wanted to, you could have a solo project of your own, okay? But you need to pitch your idea. And I think around weeks 2 or week 3, okay, you need to present, okay? And then, if you get the green light, your project will go ahead, right? So let's move forward and let's have a look at some of the tech that we tend to use within the classes. So let's talk the software. We're using Autodesk, as I mentioned before. Autodesk is industry standard software. We're using predominantly Maya, Mudbox, Motion Builder. We're also using the Adobe suite. Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe After Effects, for example. They're just a few, okay? Also, if you're into 2D animation, we like to use Adobe Animate. All right. Also, for those interested in gaming, yes, we also develop game animations and game characters. Hence, we use Unity and Unreal. So we can show you, teach you, walk through the process of bringing your characters out of the 3D modeling package into a Unity or Unreal gaming engine. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the hardware that we use. Well, we have Wacom tablets. What is a Wacom tablet? It's a drawing or a sketching device. Okay, you have a tablet and a digital pen. They're available at the tech office on the SAE campus. Now, we also have motion capture suits at most of our campuses, and they're so much fun. The students love them. You're able to suit up, and if you want, do a dance, run around, etc., and then you can transpose those movements onto your 3D character. We also have available 3D virtual reality headsets, VR, HTC Vive, and Oculus. Okay, and there's also 3D printers. Okay, so the 3D printers are available on most of our campuses. Okay, let's move forwards. Oh, here we have a showcase. I'm going to play a couple of examples here. I'm just going to briefly run through these, and I'll just let these run through. So here's an example of Studio 2 students. Okay, fantastic. So this team was a team of 4 or 5 students, and they developed this piece for a game trailer. Okay, now I'll show you one more that was created this trimester, just completed. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the animation course. I hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments section below. So how to apply? Well, you need to apply for presentation at 3 p.m. today. Okay, I'm just going to go through this last slide with you all. If you called to speak, you call to speak to an SAE course advisor, 1-800-723-338. Okay, that's the number to call there. And if you'd like to book a personalized virtual campus tour at sae.edu.au/book a tour. It's right there. Okay, and then when you're ready to apply, go to the sae.edu.au/apply. Okay, it's all there. Okay, thanks for your time, and I look forward to catching up with you in class. Thank you.